Yamkoma lentombi, yamkoma lentombi, yamkoma ngobuhlalo.
It's almost odd to have to suggest to people that life itself is a miracle. It's absolutely miraculous. To the person who wants to say, where's the miracle? What's the miraculousness about it? Let's start with a couple of questions. Was the universe, the cosmos, always here? Was it just always? Or did it come out of nothing? Was there nothing and then something? That doesn't seem to make any sense. But to say that it always was here, that doesn't seem to make any sense either. To try to say that there was nothing and then there was something, well, what was there before there was nothing? Now, I'm trying to force the issue that a person who can really think can raise questions for which there are no answers. Or, if there are answers, for example, the universe literally could have come out of nothing. There could have been nothing, and then suddenly there was something. Or, the universe could have always been. Either of those could be true, despite the fact that it doesn't make sense. That's interesting to me. I find that utterly mysterious. Now, if you say, well, we're just simians, we're these invertebrate primates who have these abilities to baffle themselves and astound themselves with their inability to comprehend the complexities around them, what does that mean? Where are you going to get the adequate framework to demystify it all? It, to me, seems like what could be more fascinating than the fact that the lives of each of us, the sheer fact that we are, is utterly unlikely, and yet now that it is, it couldn't have not been. The fact that you are means that you couldn't have not been. When you say you could have not been, it's you right now in your imagination pretending that you're not here and you could have not been. In the real world, the people who are could not have not been. That's what it means to be. I don't know if people can just demystify the miraculousness by saying, oh, well, yes, it's this or it's that. It's simply explainable within the confines of science. There's a great passage in Alan Wheelis's The End of the Modern Age, and he talks about the Copernican revolution, and he says, you know, Copernicus stands at an interesting vantage. Not only did Copernicus suddenly displace the geocentric with the heliocentric view and suddenly revealed that the Earth was not the center, but that the sun was a center to us and we were rotating around it. And in that moment, it diminished the human scale and the human perspective of humanity being central to the cosmos. But it simultaneously sort of secretly patted us on the back for having the ability to discover that. I think that notion that there is a kind of self-congratulatory, you know, it's a debunking of earlier mysteries and a self-congratulations of oneself for having the ability to discover it. But I think the problem of never ultimately having the framework in order to say, is this adequately a miracle or not? Now, to the person who says, no, it's not a miracle, I don't believe in miracles, well, if what you're going to say is by fiat, you just mean divine intervention like fantastical, you know, showers of gold upon a person that produced a baby. If those are what you mean by miracles and you're trying to rule out miracles in that sense, yeah, I think we're on board. But to say that therefore life in all of its mysterious variety, and I mean the sheer fact that it is, and the fact that part of what is aware of the fact that it is. It doesn't seem to me to be something less than absolutely, positively an unlikely miracle. I can think of almost nothing that is probably statistically as unlikely as the very emergence of each and every one of us. Each person is an utterly astronomical unlikeliness, and yet is inevitable once they're here. To be here is to have removed the capacity to have not been. That is the reality of it. It's a miracle. The body's ability to heal itself in all the ways that it does, it's a miracle. I guess I'm wondering what the framework would be for the person who is going to A, say, oh yes, now this is what would make it a miracle, or B, why even use the word? Why have the word? I mean, I guess it's just a metaphor, and if we're going to say, oh, well, that's a miracle, it means miraculous, it means somehow greater than could be possible in reality, or something like this. I think people can do that. You can try to say, well, there really are no miracles, but I think to try to say that life itself is not the real, original miracle, I think that's a mistake. I think this potentially is someone equating magic with miracle. I don't know if I'd want to say that everything that is miraculous is somehow magical. I think magical implies a doer of the deed and also a kind of manipulation to a particular audience, whereas miraculous, miracle, it has lots more meanings. It's a much more rich term. Please shoot a video response, people out there. If you're interested in this question, is life itself a miracle? What would be the adequate framework that you would need in order to know that it is or is not? What would be, where would one have to stand in order to say with confidence, there's nothing miraculous, A, about the emergence of life, B, about the emergence of humanity? What would one have to know in order to say, yes, in fact, there are no miracles, and even this unbelievable, apparently, either something out of nothing or something that always has been? That seems to me pretty miraculous. Okay, thanks.